What is going on, y'all? This is Vocal Time, and Jeremy here. I've got another update for you. I've changed a little bit of my settings. I'm looking in the settings so I can make a better video. So here we are. We're gonna go to the charts. We're gonna take a look about what's going on. So, bigger picture. Over the past few months, past year or so, more like it, the interest rates have been high, and that's because inflation is out of control. Inflation is out of control. So here I have two graphs showing what that is. This is the inflation. Inflation went wild just around the time of the last bull market, and so when that happened, at the peak, you can see they started raising the interest rates. They raised it all the way to this 5.2. Now we're just getting to the point where it's starting to cool off a little bit from the high interest rates. That's the way it works. When they raise the interest rates, the inflation goes down. So now they're going to cut. They cut just a few weeks ago, and so that's what's starting this this bull market. So as this continues to go down, I think over the next few months into probably January to mid 2025, the price of the cryptocurrencies are going to increase dramatically. So we can take a look at another few graphs. Here I have the bond market, and the bond market, that is long-term safe investments. So when the interest rates are high, your borrowing costs more, and so you want to move towards a less risky asset. Here is the bond market, and the bond market is probably the most the least risk that you can take on in an investment, and it's sitting on the shelf, of around 3.5% for a 2-year yield. That's what this is. This is the graph. So if I draw a line here, you can see this is as low as it gets. It's gotten to that low in 23. I don't know what that was, but it's bouncing here, and if it falls off this shelf, that is a signal that the cryptocurrencies also will rise, because they're inversely correlated. This is a risk-off asset, whereas Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies are risk-on. So when that goes down, we'll see the cryptos increase. So if we move on, we can also take a look at some other graphs. The DXY. For a long time, people have known that there's an inverse relationship between the dollar and Bitcoin, because people at one point thought that the cryptocurrencies were going to take over the dollar, which is absurd. But right now, just like the bonds, it's sitting on that shelf, and soon it will start to plunge. But that is the time when the cryptocurrencies are going to take off. So you're going to see right now, we're going to be pushing as hard as we can right now onto the top of the channel that I've drawn here. And just about in spring of this year, we got to this point, and it was kind of like a saturation of the market, and we took a break. So we've been bouncing around this channel, and soon it's going to kick off. And I think that we'll get another flagpole like this. You can extend it out to here to get a prediction of where it might go. It might not go there. It could go lower, it could go higher, but that is a valid prediction. So here is where we are. We're at the resistance, and when it breaks through, it will continue to increase, as technical analysis shows. This is the continuation of an uptrend. So at that time, we're going to see the dominance, which is a measure for the entire bull cycle, all the way back to 22, 21. You can see here that it went down to a low. The dominance decreased dramatically in the last bull run. This is when the altcoins increased. So right now, in this time, the Bitcoin kind of gotten got its feet back together and it started to climb. So Bitcoin has more dominance in the market, and it's increasing. It's increasing. Historically, you can see that. Just change this. The rally, it will. This is when the altcoins increase, and then it will start to climb back through the next rally to the 618 level. And it's doing it again. So you can even apply this concept to, you know, the previous bull market. It was very small, much smaller. This is when Bitcoin was much smaller. So it started and it rallied up to the 618, and then it dropped. And then the altcoins increased. This is when Litecoin was exploding, and then the next bull market came through. But things are looking good. Things are looking good, and I'm wearing my glasses, and we're going to see over the next few months, I think, some good things. And I think that the dominance might try to push up to the 618 level. It might, but I don't think it's going to make it because it's so old and it's going to have a hard time. We didn't make it in the last one. You can see it didn't. I mean, it didn't get all the way there, but it got very close. Once it gets there, very close, it starts to decrease. And that is when there's an altcoin season. So be ready for that, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I've got Solana, for example. It's always a good example because people like Solana at this time. We draw the resistance line here. A resistance line, for example. We're bouncing around in this channel, and 2 green weeks in a row. I'm not going to be surprised if we're sitting up here, 175 next week. We had a good week last week, and like I had said, I made a video before it was at 62. Bitcoin was at 62, and then it increased to around like 66. So it's doing pretty good right now, and it's definitely going to push up to here. From there, it might bounce down, but it might take off, and we're going to see where it goes. When that happens, you know that the altcoins are going to do well. They always perform well, especially Solana. So it's going to push up to this resistance. When we finally get that breakout, this is going to be the final level of resistance. Possibly the last high of the, well, of course, it's going to pass that. I am sure that it's going to pass 250. It's going to pass 250 in just a matter of months. But first it has to get over this, and it's going to push up to the resistance line I've drawn here. There'll probably be a pause right here, and this is when the altcoin season, maybe, this is when the altcoin season will take off. And you see altcoins start to surpass Bitcoin. So things are looking pretty good, and I got a lot. I mean, if you look at any of these charts, they're all looking great. They're all looking good. This is the last week for Chainlink, and it's just, with this momentum, it's definitely not going to stop till it gets to the 1470 at least. You see this moving average. They just happen to coincide with the volume history profile. So it's going to push up probably up to here. Take it or leave it. Just a thought. If you like the content, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll make another video. And you can plug this information into your money system. Until next time, have a great day. Watch out, because just in a few hours, let's see, it's 4 o'clock in the morning in the USA right now, and Monday's coming. Be ready. Peace.